Good now, Kenny.
All right, I believe so.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Freemasons Podcast with your hosts, Right Worshipful Brother George Mudry.
And Worshipful Brother Ken.
Today we got invaded by the Widow's Sons. Really wasn't an invasion. It was more of a George fuck up, as usual. Where
Double booked.
I double booked. I didn't really double book. I just was talking to Drip over here, and I told him to come up, and sure shit, I forgot to tell him to come up. So here we are. But anyway, we're going to skip all our pleasantries because I don't really think I have anything, do you?
Well, I mean, we always have new followers on Instagram. I can go and check that if you want.
If you want.
Which will take me a minute. As usual. Not prepared.
Anyway, today we have the Widow's Sons, and on the line with us we have
Andy Reynolds and Scott Hayes from the King's Guard of New York.
And we are scheduled to go up there May 24th, correct? Is it May 24th?
I sent you all the
21st.
21st. I knew it was May, but I was screwed up with the date.
Yeah, big surprise there.
You know, I do have to laugh, though, because I have to bring my daughter and her boyfriend to a play later. And I do think there's a little bit of irony and hilarity in the fact that we come up the stairs and there's three big-ass bikers sitting here waiting for him. So I got a good laugh out of that one. I'm like, ha! Poor bastard.
We're all Masons when you
hey, listen, it's cool, though. When he got in the car and he had to push the shovel and the tarp off to the side to sit down, it was fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ken.
All right. Over on Instagram, we've got Chris Meekins, Tattoos by Juan Ezekiel, Damian DeLageron, William Miller, Patrick Smith, Merlin, Adrian Poyser. I already say Adrian Poyser.
I think so.
Yeah, it was on
all right.
YouTube. Kenneth Stanbridge, Blake Simmons, NJGC, Roland Trent, Scott Park, Austin Snyder, PSP, George Mudry.
Oh, my kiddo.
Okay. Oh, the other George Mudry.
Yeah.
Rudy Amaya, Devin Burkhead, Sterling Godwin, Reverend Drip.
Hey.
Really? Reverend Drip?
I am a reverend.
You're like a man of the cloth now? All right. Well, who am I to judge? Only God can judge you. Dr. Rakesh Kumar Chorizaya. Hello, Doctor. David Pena. That's what we got on Instagram. Thank you, brothers and friends.
I wonder if he's related to Michael Pena.
I don't know.
Huh?
Probably not.
Anyway, Ken, you related?
Sure. I don't have anything to toast with.
That's fine. Pour beer in it.
We're all kinds of not organized today. Those guys have anything to toast with over there?
I got some.
Yeah, they're good. We'll make do.
We'll make do.
All right. You guys know how to do this?
Yeah.
Been here once or twice.
I've been here a few times.
All right.
Go ahead.
Trial by fire. Brethren, right hand to arms.
2 arms.
Ready.
Ready.
Aim.
Aim.
Fire good fire. Fire all. Together, brethren. Vivat, vivat, vivat.
I pulled the headphones out again because I got Joe's little bitch-ass headphones on, so
Maybe we should just get new cables.
we should. We'll get there. Anyway, so we're going to talk about the little event you guys are holding up there. It's not even little. It's pretty big. Up in upstate New York. So I'm going to turn the mic over to our brothers on Skype, and we're going to let you guys have it. So let's hear what's going on May 21st.
Well, it's our 9th annual spring thing, as we call it. It's a charity event this year for the Shriners Children's Hospital and our local Ronald McDonald House.
Uh-oh.
We've got a great band for everybody to dance into. Got good food. It's at the Henrietta Moose Lodge in Henrietta, New York.
Just out of curiosity, how much do you brothers usually raise up there at that event?
Well, over the 9 years we've done it, I think we're over $160,000 now.
Wow.
That's a pretty good amount of money. Holy Christ.
So best of causes too, the Shriners Children's Hospital.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we do it every other year. We'll do it. One year will be all about the children, like this year, and then the next year will be all about our veterans. So we service different veteran programs, and we've done real well with it. We've got a great following. A lot of other clubs participate, and we know what we're doing. We've been doing it for years, and we really enjoy it. It's a lot of work, but well worth the effort.
And just out of curiosity, what veterans foundation do you give the money to? Wounded Warrior or the Valhalla Project?
No, there's a local Veterans Outreach Center here in Rochester that we help out. And there's also a program called the New York Warrior Alliance. It's a young lady who travels and brings things to Walter Reed Hospital. So we raise money for her, and then she can service the injured soldiers and their family while they're staying at Walter Reed. It's a great program because they're 100% nonprofit, just like we are, and that's who we like to work for.
Very nice.
Awesome.
So, besides the usual amenities, what's the event like up there? What do you guys do? Is it bike riding? Is it like Sturgis with the and I'm just asking, just trying to figure out what do you guys do up there? What's kind of like the venue of it? What events do you hold in a sense?
Well, in the morning we'll do a ride. It's usually led by the Patriot Guard flag bikes, and this year we'll have a couple ladder trucks from the West Henrietta Fire Department there to set up the big flag. And we do an escorted ride that Scott usually leads, so I'll let him tell you about the ride.
Okay.
Yeah, we do a ride. It's about 80 miles down through the Finger Lakes region, Western New York State. We will get, usually upwards of 100, maybe more motorcycles. Again, the Patriot Guard riders, the ride this year, the Patriot Guard riders, we support a lot in our area. They do a lot of great things for the veterans. And obviously, if anybody doesn't know about them, I'd be surprised. But if they don't, they can Google the Patriot Guard Riders. It's another national organization that supports veterans, mostly veterans funerals. But we support them. And one of their local ride captains, who was a very popular guy, we all knew him. He unfortunately passed away of cancer back in January. So we're doing the ride in his memory this year, and I know we'll be getting a lot of folks coming out to assist him. We charge a small fee for the ride. All the money from that ride will be going to this gentleman's charities. He was also a volunteer firefighter in Ontario, New York. So we will have that fire department down to join us, and we'll be making a donation to them with the money raised from that ride. After the ride's about an hour and a half to 2 hours. The ride gets back right at the beginning of the spring thing, which is at 2 p.m. And that's when the band starts. The Moose Club, the folks at the Moose Club do a fantastic job of putting on a meal for us and cooking out in their pavilion. So we have food for everybody. We have the band playing. We do raffles and door prizes. We have a large gun raffle going on that's been going on for a few months, and we'll be doing the drawing for that at the end of the spring thing as well.
You had me at gun raffle.
Yeah. And barbecue.
What
Hey,
kind of?
so I know we're supposed to be going up. Are you guys going up?
Absolutely.
Paladins are going to be there
yeah.
too. Oh God, this is going to be a lot of fun.
We're going to have a pretty big showing this year, from what I understand from our brothers in Massachusetts. There'll be a lot of them coming up. We've got brothers coming up from Louisiana, from Nebraska, Ohio. And this year, thank God, with that COVID stuff being on the downturn, we have a bunch of our Canadian brothers coming down. So
Very cool.
Pennsylvania.
you're going to meet a lot of good men.
Very cool. What kind of rifle? I have to ask.
It's actually four. There's a Benelli 20 gauge semi-automatic.
Okay.
There's a Henry tribute rifle, the American Eagle it's called.
Very nice.
It's a beautiful gun. And then we have a Shriner's edition Henry lever action as well. And then we have a home defense Escort. So
Oh wow.
it's 4 guns. There'll be 4 drawings. Only 200 tickets are being sold. And it's a $40 donation. All the donations, of course, above our costs, go directly to the Children's Hospital and the Ronald McDonald House.
Well, I need a new sporting shotgun, so that seems to be the best possible way to try to get one. All the money goes to the hospital.
So talking to my buddy Carl over here, He said something that kind of threw a red flag to me. He said something about getting a hotel room sooner than later, and the reason being is that there was a quote unquote graduation going on at the same time.
Yep.
Can you just give me an explanation of what graduation is?
Well,
Have you ever been to school?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know if that had something to do with you
I
guys.
mean, he's been to school. He just never finished.
No,
You know what? Eat shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
I
have a
thought
lot
it was
of fun.
graduate. I thought he meant like graduation was like something that you guys. Oh, all right,
Yeah.
all right. That was my mistake then.
Yeah, the town that we're in Henrietta, New York, is a suburb of Rochester, and there's a lot of colleges and universities in the area, and two very close to our location, Rochester Institute of Technology and the University of Rochester, both have their graduations that weekend, unfortunately, and they're very, very large schools, and they tend to book up a lot of the hotels in the area. So we're just telling everybody, if they're coming, it's best to call now and get your rooms instead of waiting until later, because they will go fast once we get close to graduation time.
TikTok George, am I making the reservations or is Raph making them?
Yeah.
Okay, as long as you're not.
No, not me
All right,
or
we're on
Ref.
it. We're on it.
actually, guys, when I heard Strip told me you guys were gonna come, and first of all, thank you so much for coming. We greatly appreciate it. I've already got some room set aside for you guys, so just contact me, on the off hour, and I'll make sure you get hooked up with your rooms.
Really appreciate that, brother.
Sounds good. We appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, no, that was my mistake on the graduation thing. I thought that was like a code word for what you guys do. For when you graduate or whatever. Not graduate, but when you get the what is it, the branded? I think the brand or whatever the hell.
That's on Friday night.
That's on Friday night.
Well, we've got that going on too.
Oh, really? That's going on up there as well, huh?
Oh yeah.
Now,
yeah.
That's not public though, right? That's only for you guys, correct?
Correct.
All right, gotcha.
The Paladins will be doing the actual branding.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
You guys are doing it. So these hooligans over here, the Paladins, what you guys are just King's Guard?
Yeah, that's our chapter name of the Widow's Sons. We're the Grand Chapter in New York.
Oh wow, no kidding. Unfortunately, there's no grand chapter of you guys down here in Connecticut. So, right? You guys don't have.
No,
any.
there is a grand chapter in Connecticut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's another chapter of the Widow's Sons here in Connecticut, but we're completely separate from them.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I don't understand the hierarchy of it, so I'm trying to just
Two separate organizations.
Two separate organizations.
Oh, yeah.
Got you.
In fact, I think you guys explained that last time you were up here. I think George just
we did.
slipped his mind.
I don't remember most of the stuff. Like it's hard for me to remember freaking day-to-day stuff. What's up?
You can't remember 2 years ago?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
I don't know what I did 5 minutes ago, let alone 2 years ago.
It was pre-COVID. After you guys came up here, COVID hit, and then everything got shut down.
Yeah, pretty much.
Coincidence? I don't know.
Yeah, that
Secret
was
of
the last
masonry
year
right
you
there.
guys were supposed to come when we got shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep. But we're definitely making plans to get up there at some point.
Yep, we're making good on it this year.
Yeah,
It's a good event.
There's a lot of things that got shut down on us. We were supposed to go to Masonicon too.
Yeah, we had 4 months straight of events that Raph had strung together for us that all had to be canceled. That sucked.
Yes,
Hopefully
it did.
never happens again.
Amen.
Then
Amen.
Ken went full Jake Gyllenhaal and Bubble Boy and disappeared.
Yeah, and I stopped coming on the Yeah. Remember that? That sucked, didn't it? When I was trying to Skype in. This is not a show where you can have the hosts in different remote areas all connecting via Zoom. That's doesn't work.
It's for other podcasts.
Yeah.
The other cool thing is when the ride gets back, the Patriot Guard does a flag line for us. And then we have somebody singing the national anthem, and we'll all do the Pledge of Allegiance. So it's a pretty patriotic thing, which is we need more of in this country.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Opening ceremony at the beginning.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So just out of curiosity, this is open for all Masons and non-Masons alike, correct? Anybody can show up to this thing and just enjoy being there, correct?
Absolutely. We've got all kinds of games set up. Webster has a hacky sack team that's coming to set up. They call themselves the Webster Cornholers, but I don't like using that term.
This is a children's show. It's not really.
But there's horseshoes and there's other activities for kids. So, and we should have a few vendors there. And like I said, the band usually keeps people hopping.
Very cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, so if there's any listeners, and I know a lot of them don't tune in live, but most of them listen afterward, which I never understood that. Like, it'll be have like 6 or 7 guys watching live, and then all of a sudden, like the next day, it's like, boom, 387 views. I'm
Well,
like, what the?
It's a very popular way to consume content, audio-only content, via your little podcast app. I do it. You don't do that? You don't listen to podcasts?
I do.
Audio only?
I
Okay.
do.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a huge swath of people that do that. We do have a lot of people that watch the video after it.
That's what I'm
airs
talking
live,
about.
too.
Yeah, they watch it live afterward.
It's tough for guys in like England and, India and stuff like that, Australia, because,
Not my fault they're on the wrong side of the world.
Yeah, exactly. So you will learn to adapt to our time zone. Or you don't get to watch live.
All joking aside, though, if there's anybody who's in the New York area, come check it out. We'll be up there, be floating around, running around doing our shenanigans and stuff.
Yep, remotely record maybe.
Yeah, that's my
be,
plan, actually. What I'm going to do is I have a fun little SD chip that's got a network to it. Yeah.
What?
Thank you, U.S. government.
Oh,
You
you
don't
need
hear
it's like
that
a
too
little
often.
cellular modem so that we can,
So it's an SD card or whatever the little cards that you stick in the side of your cell phone.
yeah.
And it gives, so if I have tablet, or if I can get a tablet, I can plug the thing in the side and I'll have full basically cell service, and we can record live from a tablet or something.
And the U.S. government pays for this.
No, I pay for this. They just provided it.
I think we'll just use my cell modem so that we don't end up getting.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to give away your place of business, but doesn't yours run through your place of business as well?
No, I have my own.
Oh, you have your
Yeah,
own?
I have my own that I actually purchased
Nerd alert.
No, this was back before. Remember before we had internet access up here? Before we had
Yes.
Comcast modem?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
and we were running off of the Wi-Fi downstairs in the bar,
That's when I was
which
throwing.
was spotty. So
Yeah,
then I
that's when
brought
I
the
was-
modem up. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that. That was
that,
when
yeah.
George was throwing mic stands and shit across the room because the Wi-Fi kept dying on me.
Yeah,
But
it works equally well when we're out in the field recording too, which we've done a couple times. We did it once at the car show before COVID.
yeah.
That was a long time ago.
So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to being up there and seeing you brothers and having a good time.
Can't wait to meet you guys, and we really appreciate you taking your time and efforts to come up. It's greatly appreciated.
Anytime.
It's our pleasure.
We'll let you gentlemen go. Want to thank you guys for coming on. We're gonna come over here and screw around with our other brothers over here, and we'll catch up with you guys on May 21st.
May 21st. Don't come the 24th. You'll be late.
Have a good day, brothers.
Thank you so much, brothers.
You too. Thanks again.
Okay.
Awesome.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Well, we got our work cut out for us.
All right, so now you guys
Now
can tell
you're
us.
committed now.
Now you guys
Yeah.
can tell us the real story. So what goes on up there?
Oh, it's a good time. It's
Good time.
It's a good time. The Moose Lodge does a good job. There's plenty of of booze. It's all the hotels are very close to the Moose Lodge, so there's really no need to worry about traveling far distances to get to the hotels. The Moose Lodge does a great job. The King's Guard does an excellent job. I think Andy kind of downplayed it a little bit, but yeah, there's a lot of vendors.
Right.
Last year, was it the leather guy? Was it last year the leather guy last year? They had a custom leather guy there. Would make any kind of
Oh, no kidding.
belts, anything you wanted. They had
Holsters, perhaps.
perhaps.
Yeah.
He was a Navy SEAL. He was a Navy SEAL. and
Okay,
they
so he can
found-
probably make a holster. I
Yeah,
think,
he's they're from Arizona. They came all the way from Arizona to go. There's going to be a lot of states. There's a couple countries should be there. It's
Nice.
a well done. It's a well done event.
Canada's going, right?
I
Very
believe
nice.
I believe the border's open in Canada. From
Yeah,
what
they
I
said there's a contingent coming down from Canada now that COVID's over. So
Yeah.
that's
There's-
really cool.
awesome.
There's a lot of people. A lot of Louisiana, Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, obviously Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey, perhaps. There's a lot of guys. You'll be impressed. It's pretty good.
Very nice.
All Masons, right? All
All Masons.
Masonic motorcycle.
Yep.
So I think I.
Cool.
It's usually just all Widow Sons.
All Widow's Sons.
All
Okay.
kinds of clubs that'll come out.
Okay.
Man.
The Patriot Guard Riders, and there's a couple other, I think, Catholic organizations that come out to this. So there's,
Okay.
it's mainly put on by the Widow Sons, but it's open to anybody. Your wives, kids, anybody can come. Girlfriends, anybody.
So like the bad clubs don't show up, right? It's not like one of those things. This is like put on as.
Why can't be bad clubs?
Well, I don't know because there are like
Well, there is
some
no,
out
there is
there,
no
right?
bad clubs.
Oh, okay.
Listen,
Just
So,
bad people.
No, well, yeah.
Oh my God!
Anybody can come. And
You shouldn't judge people.
It's
I'm not
nothing-
judging
They
anyone.
just have a different way of life than you can.
I mean, they made like a TV show about like bad motorcycle
Oh,
clubs, right? I mean,
Well, that was a TV show. It
It's a
doesn't-
TV show.
okay, fair
TV
enough.
didn't imitate real life.
Right, I don't know. Wow, everybody's just turning on me here. Jesus Christ.
So I asked this last time, and I believe I asked Carl a long time ago, and he ducked the goddamn question. No, don't give him the mic. I got to ask what the Shenanigan crew is. That's the response he gave me
he's
last
got-
time, and then I got nothing.
So he's got a patch
You're
on
gonna
his
have to come to New York to really find out what that means.
All right.
So I guess what George is referring to is a patch that's on
Yep.
on the what do you call
It's
that?
called a cut.
Well, again, I'm learning.
Coming from the guy who wears 3-piece suits.
Actually, I remember that
It's like,
from
is that your vest? Is that your vest?
It kind
Not a
of
vest.
it kind of resembles somebody's name.
Shenanigan. Okay.
But the original 6 guys that started the Paladins
Right.
were the Shenanigan crew.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, no, I was just curious about it, and the last time I asked him, he freaking ducked the question on me, the freaking pansy ass, he wouldn't answer it, so I figured, I'm like, I'll ask the other guys.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Right,
It
gotcha.
started in Virginia.
I gotcha.
Yes.
So if you see that Shenanigan crew on a cut, it means you're OG. You're a founding member, charter member of the
I guess
Paladins,
you
more or
could
less.
kind of
Okay.
classify that as that.
Okay.
Sure.
Gotcha.
Stop looking at me like that.
What you
George.
got for him,
What?
cupcake? Are the bad guys gonna be there?
You know,
Sorry, Kent, your
I'm a
dad.
fragile man.
Yeah, your little keychain.
You know what you can do, though? You could bring Joe up there with you and have his freaking 2-ton pony that was standing behind me the 2 podcasts
Oh,
ago.
that Joe, yeah.
He'll
Virtual
protect
Joe.
you.
Yeah. I'll bring
Did you guys see that picture
No.
on Facebook? Oh, so we had, what's this? Brought some gifts. Oh,
Gifts.
you're not getting these. You don't write them. You said they're
Oh,
bad
you know
people.
what I did
We
forget?
called them bad people. So
You know, it was actually Brian that gave me a couple challenge coins, Widow's Sons Paladins challenge coins, and I forgot to bring them. I have 2 for you guys. I did see him the other night, and I will bring them up. I apologize.
Well, not everybody got one.
No, I got Ken 2, one for him and one.
Yeah, no, he gave me 1 for each of us. So don't worry about it. We're good. We're totally good. That's my bad.
all
Forgot to
good.
bring the
It's
challenge
fine.
coins up.
I also didn't remember that he was coming up, so it's also my fault. So you weren't gonna bring him up. You know what I'm saying? It's my fuck up. Told him he was coming.
That's all right.
Yeah, this is what happens when we don't record for like a week or so. We just kind of like forget everything.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've been all busy, so I mean, between me and work and you and whatever the hell you do.
I work. Yeah, well, I mean, I've also been kind of
Sound like
involved
you've been-
in Blue Lodge matters and Grand Lodge matters and so forth. Oh,
You also sound like you've been hanging out with your safety pillow a lot lately.
yes. Yeah, in my safe room, my safe space.
Safe space.
I do want to congratulate worshipful brother Joe Zanino, who was
Yes.
on Saturday was the Grand Lodge installation, and he was installed as Associate Grand Marshal for District 3. I forget whether it's A or B, but for
I think he
district
starts off in A, but I could be wrong.
in A, okay, that makes sense because I think we're 3B, but I always get those two
So-
mixed up.
Basically, all 3 of us are adorned in purple.
We do have purple aprons now.
I also want to congratulate you. You are now also the Associate Grand Almoner
for District 3,
District 3.
which was Joe's old job.
That was Rose's old job.
Yeah, so I got Joe's
You
old
got sloppy
jewel.
seconds.
Yeah. And he handed me the jewel, and I'm like looking at it, scrutinizing. He's like, "What are you looking for?" I'm like, "Oh, mustard stains."
Mustard stains. Nice.
But yeah, it's some big shoes to fill, man. It's a big job. It's an important job, and it's built around the fact that as Masons, we're all supposed to help, aid, and assist a worthy distressed brother. This just is the link between doing that at the lodge level and doing it at the Grand Lodge level. It depends on what resources you need and how much money you might need or whatever it happens to be.
Right.
And the job is just to coordinate all that. So
So what are you boys up to?
Well,
What have you guys been doing lately? I know COVID kind of shut shit right to the ground, but
not a whole heck of a lot during the winter. It's difficult to enjoy motorcycle activities. in the
Right.
winter. But we do have a event coming up in May 7th. It's the Massachusetts, May 7th, right? Yeah, May 7th. It's the Massachusetts Ancient Craft chapter of the Whittle Sons. They're having a suicide prevention run. This is a pretty big run. They do a really good job. And
Like actually physical run?
No, it's a run of the motorcycles.
I'm asking because Joe's a big time runner, so if you guys were...
Yeah, well, this is just a motorcycle.
Alongside the bikes.
Yeah.
Good luck. But so anybody who's in the New England area wants to attend, it's at the Bill Ricka Moose Lodge at 104 Boston Road in Bill Ricka, Mass. Registration is 9 a.m. Kickstands up at 11 a.m. The cost is a rider $20, passenger $10. There's going to be food, raffles, music, and collation and bar and whatnot. So it's a really good event. They Kenny Murnane, who's the president, I believe, of Ancient Craft now, does a fantastic job with it. So it's a good time.
Awesome.
Seeing a trend here with the moose lodges and widow sons groups coming together to run charitable events and stuff. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Just so happens.
Works out.
Yeah.
So if you got people in the local area, well, for you guys anyway, how do they join? How do they become Widow Sons? First off, what are the I think we've talked about it before, but again, I want to just reiterate because, you'd be surprised how many people message me on the side and like, I never would have joined Freemasonry if it wasn't for you guys. So
for the podcast?
For the podcast, yeah. I get messages all the time. Because you guys, I submitted an application. Because of you guys, blah, 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 I joined Scottish Rite, York Rite, name it. So the reason why I'm throwing it out there is if we have listeners that are interested in joining the Widow Sons or Paladins or any of the ones that you guys consider, right, the Alliance, right? How would they go about doing that? What are the pre-qualifications, and then how do they go from there?
Well, the only qualification truly is to be a Master Mason. You have to be a Master Mason to be a Widow Son, and just like you have a lot of people saying, I've joined Masonry because of the podcast. We have the same people come up to us say, man, I wanted to get into Masonry. I see what you guys do out in the community. I'd like to be part of it. I'm a motorcycle enthusiast. How do I become a Widow Sons? And the Widow Sons are, in my opinion, the largest recruitment arm for Freemasonry that exists.
Right.
Most people don't just go to a lodge that they think that it's abandoned and they walk in and I feel uncomfortable. But when they see us interacting with people all around the country, wow, that looks pretty cool. I think I want to get involved in that. I ride a motorcycle. So to become a Widow Son, you have to become a Master Mason. That's first. And then you would approach someone who is already a Widow Son, and then they have different parameters on what they do in order to let them become a full patch member.
Right.
So every club's different, or like every
a lot of different chapters have different sets of bylaws or rules on how long you can, how long the process would take for you to become a Widow Son.
I guess no different than
grand
lodge to lodge.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's simple. There's nothing crazy. Just it takes time. People. We want to know, let's just use us for example. Somebody came to us. We want to ride with them a couple of times. We want to make sure that they're a safe rider. They're a decent person. They're not a lunatic.
Right.
And we'll test them and we'll just watch them and kind of bring them along and
make sure they're committed enough to continue showing
exactly
up. Right.
right.
That's part of
That's
it.
a
I'm
big
sure.
thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to be a paladin overnight.
Yeah, not going to happen overnight.
No,
Right.
There's some clubs that fast track people that come in. We don't believe in that.
Shit.
We don't believe in that at all. We want to see what kind of person you are, what a safe rider you are. You're going to be a good fit for us. Or you're going to be a good fit for Masonry.
Right.
So we really take that serious, and that's one of the reasons why we started the Paladins because of those issues.
Right. So 2 questions. One of which I want to address on the podcast because you would not believe the amount of people who actually think that we're all Satanists and devil worshippers and shitbags and we have babies buried underneath the freaking lodge and all kinds of crazy shit that they come up with. I just wanted to dispel. I swear to God, I'm not even lying.
I don't doubt it at all.
There's precedent for all this.
I just want to clarify to those who think that they're joining a 1%, if be clear about that. That's not something you guys do.
No.
Well, I gotta be clear about this because I'm telling you, somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, they're bikers." They're gonna freak out. Trust me.
100%. No, we're not 1%ers. We're not an MC. What you'll see in the back of the cubes, an MC. We're not that 1%ers. That's a whole nother world, and we respect what they do, and they leave us alone because we're not in that world, and we're just Masons that try to raise money, have a good time, enjoy each other's company.
Correct.
And we like motorcycles.
Awesome. Second question. So you'd said you have to approach a widow's son to find out how to join. We all, as Masons, have our own distinguished look about us that you know that that person's a Mason, and I can approach them and ask them how to join. Most of the time it happens outside of our lodge here when we go downstairs, and it's always the bar drunk. I want to join the Mason. But in all seriousness, even the people who aren't trashed out of their mind, they know you're a Mason. Some maybe a tattoo, maybe a ring, something like that, maybe an emblem on the back of your car. But you guys in particular, what do you have that people will recognize you as a widow's son? Obviously, besides the cut, because obviously you don't wear your cut all the time, right?
No, but
when you're not wearing your quote unquote uniform. Okay.
There's all kinds of stuff.
it would be the same way that let's just, if you were a master mason and somebody approached you, I want to be a mason, and let's say somebody approached you and you were a master mason and said I want to be a widow's son. You may say I'm not a widow's son, but I can get you in contact with someone who is.
Right. True.
So and in your case would be us through the podcast and whatnot. But most people who go into the widow's sons or want to become into the widow's sons and approach masons, they usually know somebody who's a widow's son.
Gotcha.
And they see us interacting in the public or at a restaurant or at a charitable event, something like that. They'll come up to us and say, "Hey, I'd like to do it," or it's a referral. Like Carl and Brian here have a couple of buddies who were friends with them. They had motorcycles. I'd like to be a widow's son. I see you driving around. And
we just raised them the last couple weeks.
Last Thursday and I think the week before that. And
Nice.
that's how it goes.
Jason. He's
Yeah.
another one who wants to come in.
So the widow's sons is really
Seedor?
is the largest.
From our lodge?
No, Waterbury.
Waterbury.
Oh, Gadoo. Yeah, he's from Marla. He's my senior steward. No, junior deacon. I don't know. I can't keep track of these guys anymore. But yes, he's in the officer line. He's in the progressive line.
Hopefully he's watching now.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, Jason. He's junior deacon.
The widow's sons is definitely, like I said before, the largest recruitment arm there is for Freemasonry, and it's a good thing. And for me, I'm a past master and whatnot, and I find the true brotherhood with the widow's sons. I mean, Freemasonry is great. I love it.
Right.
But when you're on a motorcycle and you're visiting places and seeing a bunch of other, I've been to Scotland, I've been to Ireland. That's when you it really kicks in.
All the sons out there.
Yeah, it's really tremendous.
Whole other level of
We're
brotherhood.
on our rise, and we've had people approach us asking us how to join or asking us about masonry. Does this one work?
Yeah, that won't work. She just got to bring it closer.
Yeah, you gotta have it like right up, right
Yeah,
down
you got
your
to kind of
gullet
talk
in
kind of
order
close
to
to it.
yeah.
One more question I have. I see you got the president patch. You got the VP patch. How does that work? Is it like a lodge where it's every year you change? Because I'd be pissed off if I had to change that friggin' patch every 2 freaking seconds. So I didn't know if it was something that it's kind of, you do it until you're like, I'm good, I'm done.
Originally, it was 1-year terms. Then we changed it to 2-year terms. The 1 year is really not enough to
No,
Yeah,
never is.
definitely not.
speed it and get it figured out.
Right.
2 years is almost not enough.
But we have 2
Yeah.
years, 2 times right now.
2 years, 2 times, meaning you do two terms consecutive, so it's 4 altogether.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we're still evolving.
Right.
We've changed our rules or our bylaws for new membership, different membership.
Yeah, our bylaws are always fluid, and as we grow, we change.
It's growing and changing.
That makes
Who knows?
sense.
Very cool.
So we did get a comment over here from James Ferguson, who said hello from the George Washington Masonic National Memorial, which is pretty
Very
cool. Actually, I heard something at Grand Lodge about the George Washington Masonic Memorial. They're running a little bit short on funds.
Really?
So what we're going to be doing here in the Grand Jurisdiction of Connecticut is they're trying to put spaghetti suppers together and have every lodge or as many lodges in Connecticut as possible throw it on the same night. They have, they're trying to get donations for spaghetti and stuff like that, obviously, because you want all of that money. But the idea is if we can do that and all of the grand jurisdictions that are planning on doing that run this event on the same day, they think they can raise $1 million, which is enough to replenish what.
Well, I mean, if you did a chili cook-off, you could probably raise 2 when Joe buys it.
Yeah. Victor guy is
He
stupid.
can't win fairly, so he's just gonna buy his victory.
Oh, hey.
Kick him while he's down. Kick him
Oscar.
while he's not here.
Oscar TX, he says Grand Lodge, Texas doesn't affiliate with Widow's Sons. I don't think there's actually an affiliation thing. So
There's no
it's-
recognition
Well,
official
let's.
anyway.
Well,
yeah,
hold on,
affiliation
hold
and
on.
recognition
Yeah.
are two different things. I want to
Well,
be clear about that.
You're correct, but just recently, I think it was Saturday, the Louisiana Grand Lodge had voted to make the Widow Sons of Louisiana an appended body.
Wow.
That's a huge thing, and since we are part of the alliance, we have the trademark. The alliance holds the trademark of what we have on our back. Now there's an issue with the copyright, and there's litigation going on right now to kind of clarify that. But the Louisiana Grand Lodge is now the Widow Sons are an appended body of them, and we're going to provide them with a licensing agreement that the Grand Lodge will be able to
Oh, that's awesome.
govern the Widow Sons as they see fit. That model doesn't always work around the country.
Yeah.
In Connecticut, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think I would vote for that. But in Louisiana, that's their thing, and that's the nicest thing about the Widow Sons is all of the different states and territories are pretty much autonomous. We
Like Masonry. Like
yeah,
Masonry
we
lodges,
provide
yeah.
them with the licensing agreement, and basically we don't rule or govern over anything they do. Here you go, and just have a good time. Do the right Masonic thing and move
Yep.
on.
Right.
Cool.
SP1 Worrell. Greetings, brothers. From number H.E. Daniels, number 532 in Florida, PHI. Cool. Welcome. You say I met one of these brothers in Tallahassee. Solid brother.
One of these brothers? One of the three that are here?
Yeah, one of you guys?
I don't
I
know.
wasn't sure.
North Carolina.
We travel a lot though, so who knows?
Interesting.
Very cool. What I mean is that we can be members of the Widow Sons in Texas.
I think what he might mean
Oh,
is
can't be one of the
can't,
members.
Yeah, they're.
Ah,
I've actually heard of that. Texas, the Grand Lodge doesn't particularly like the Widow Sons for whatever reason, and that could
Yeah.
be that particular Grand Master of that year, or
Yeah.
how many
Yep.
term he's in. And then next year,
Yep,
it
and then the
happens
next
a
year it's
lot.
fine.
They look at the leather vests and they look at our beards and whatnot, and they think we're a bunch of hooligans. But the reality of it is completely the opposite. Well, maybe
But-
Carl's.
Covered.
No, just kidding.
It goes with badge.
I'm a reverend.
He is a reverend. It's true. He's a man of the cloth.
True.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, and the reason being is because I think the problem with things that don't innovate themselves is they get stagnant, and they
I
get
agree.
boring. So when you add something like a leather cut, it's another angle of getting good brothers. It's something that they enjoy doing. They enjoy riding motorcycles, and oh my God, there's a Masonic motorcycle club, basically, in a sense. That's awesome. I'm going to join it. That's how you get more guys in.
Agreed.
So I wish that Grand Lodges would innovate more with either degrees or the addition of degrees or addition of appending bodies or clubs or groups. I really think you have to find people's niche, you know?
Yeah, and I see that the Widow Sons are very committed to the craft and whatnot. And we did a couple of, we did an apprentice degree, and also we did a Master Mason degree that we, how a lot of lodges have a hard time filling the seats. And we got the call, no problem. We went, and I did the apprentice from the East. He did one from the East, and we filled the chairs. And eventually we've been talking amongst ourselves that we're going to come up with a degree team, a Widow Son degree team.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
I was
That's
actually going
awesome.
to suggest to you guys, I think it would be cool as hell to do something similar to the farm degree, where it's done outside, except you make the lodge all your bikes line up on the outside, big fire barrels and stuff like that. That'd be badass.
We've had meetings and we've talked about
Right?
it. And as
Yeah,
we
no.
grow,
Oh, listen, Cupcake.
No. I think it's cool.
as we grow, we can get.
The bad, just don't let the bad bikers in.
Oh, hey.
When the Widow Sons has done the EA degree or the MM degree in a lodge,
Yeah.
not only are the chairs filled,
Yeah.
Lodge is full.
Yeah,
Lodge
the
is
lodge is
full.
full.
Yeah.
Again, that's the innovation. People come to see that shit, just like the farm degree. The farm degree had
How many states for?
For Nick's, it was
three
packed.
states.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
more standard in my lodge.
it's just like
Yeah.
it's just like the farm degree, it's just like the quarry degree, it's just like the cave degree. All these degrees, people go are like, oh, I want to see this shit.
degree.
What Garibaldi degree?
Garibaldi,
People
yeah,
spend
yeah.
crazy money and travel far distances to see this stuff. So for me, that innovation would be freaking awesome to add it. And I don't know why
Agreed.
some Masons are like that. I get it. They're old. They're stuck in the mud. I mean,
Could make the church.
Don't look at me. I'm
no,
not
no. That's not. What I was gonna take a cheap shot
No,
at a particular
Really
old brother.
yeah, at a particular old wound. I was gonna take a cheap shot, but
Understood.
I'm behaving. Don't worry. Shane Dufresne won't be up here to yell at me.
Boy.
So
Yeah, our handler,
our handler, but.
Grand Lodge
Censor.
podcast handler. Yeah,
Censure.
So
exactly.
we're gonna shut this down because I gotta go get kids some places. But I want to thank you guys for coming up here.
Thanks for
it's always
having
fun, and I will see you guys. We'll collaborate for around May,
Yeah.
and
Looking forward to seeing you guys up there.
We're good to go.
You'll enjoy it.
You gotta hit Sticky Lips.
Sticky lips.
Sticky lips.
It's a barbecue place.
One of the best
Oh,
barbecue
okay.
places
Thank you for
ever, boy.
clarifying.
Thought that was like your cousin or something. Drip.
I'm like, God damn, you're gonna get me in trouble.
That's how he got,
Sticky lips.
that's how he got his nickname, Sticky Lips Drip.
Yeah,
And
it's gonna be a fun road trip.
Ken
Oh,
gets to do Satan's toe. Is that what it's called?
Toe of Satan?
Oh,
Toe of Satan?
yes.
Toe of Satan. What is that?
Nothing.
Oh,
Don't tell him.
yeah,
You'll find out when you get there.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah, you know what? We should definitely do that at the podcast.
All right, we'll do it. We'll
I'll
make
try anything once.
it twice if you like it.
Yeah,
No, you won't do it twice.
I'm not
What's
gonna
that?
do it twice.
You won't. I
I
guarantee you.
We made them do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's,
Is that the super hot lollipop or something?
No, it's sweet.
Some shit
It's
like
sweet.
that. Sweet. Okay, yeah. I'm in. You know me.
Toe of Satan.
I
yeah.
love my suckers.
Anyway, for the Freemasons podcast, I am Right Worship Brother George Mudry signing off.
And I'm Worshipful Brother Ken signing off.
Have at it,
Take
boys.
care, guys. Steve Munns signing off.
Drip, signing off.
Brian Adams, see ya.
Have a good night, everyone.
Great.